Hi, this is David Mastio, California editor for the Center Square, and this is California in Focus. As always, I'm joined by Kenneth Schrupp, a California reporter for the Center Square. Today we're talking about the continued debate over organized retail theft in California. What are Republicans asking for, Kenneth?
They're asking something called the Little Hoover Commission to analyze how Proposition 47 is impacting retail theft. Proposition 47 largely decriminalized drug use and reduces theft under $950, even for serial offenders, to a misdemeanor. The original limit on theft was $400, but there were opportunities to charge people for stronger sentencing. With this gone, it is estimated that retail theft has increased significantly. They're asking the Little Hoover Commission, which is already studying retail theft, because the Little Hoover Commission is California's oversight agency. It investigates government operations, promotes efficiency and economy, and creates reports, recommendations, and legislative proposals. So this Little Hoover Commission assessment of retail theft, which has skyrocketed in recent years, is supposed to result in recommended policy solutions. By asking them to consider Proposition 47 and its impact, they are effectively asking for legislative proposals from this independent commission that Democrats tend to also follow the recommendations of, to adopt new measures that could reduce Prop 47's powers in the future.
What would that look like? Would that be lowering the amount of property that had to be stolen, or increasing penalties for serial theft, or what would that look like?
Proposals that have been put forward by state Republicans include allowing people who have been convicted of theft 3 times or more to face strengthened charges and not just be charged with another misdemeanor. You could also have some of the drug decriminalization aspects of the proposition reduced. The real number, though, that matters here is that reported shoplifting increased 61% from 2019 through 2023 in Los Angeles. This is something that a lot of law enforcement officials and shop owners and politicians and just everyday residents attribute to Proposition 47. It's not that reducing these crimes merely to a misdemeanor is what's driving this. Rather, it is the fact that these prosecutors' offices have very limited resources, and they're going to try to focus their limited resources on prosecuting felonies. And once you reduce these to a misdemeanor, you reduce them as a priority within what is going to be charged with the limited resources they have. This means that these small-time misdemeanors are not going to be prosecuted, even if over time they cause colossal damage to the economy. It's estimated that these retail thefts cost California businesses $7.8 billion a year, and in doing so reduces state tax revenue by $500 million a year. As we face a $68 billion deficit going into the fiscal year 2024-2025 that we're planning for, we need to really consider every way to increase revenue. And I think that also means considering the impact of crime on sales tax, jobs, and quality of life for Californians.
In the context of all those billion-dollar numbers that you just mentioned, Proposition 47 was supposed to save money by lowering use of the prison system. How much did it save, and what is that money used for?
It saves a marginal $30 million a year from reduced incarceration. That money is supposed to be used for mental health and substance abuse services, truancy and dropout prevention, and victim services. And if we're going to be completely fair, there are some of these programs that have been rather successful. There's one Prop 47 program in Los Angeles that serves arrested or convicted individuals with a history of mental health and substance abuse issues. That program had more than half of its participants obtain employment after not participating in the job market. And with more than half of those who started work remaining working 1 year after starting the program. I was unable to find effective data on cost per individual, but we do have to see that there have been some ways that this money has been spent well. But let's offset that $30 million against the $500 million in lost state revenue. This does not seem like an equitable balance of efficiency by adopting Prop 47.
What are Democrats proposing to do to fix this?
Well, Democrats are really reluctant to change Prop 47 because they don't want to see further incarceration of people under nearly any circumstances. I don't see the drug decriminalization being impacted anytime in the near future. But there does seem to be some effort by Democrats to increase criminal sentencing through other means. After a wave of organized retail crime this summer that went viral, including a $300,000 daytime theft at a luxury goods store in Los Angeles, people are now calling for, ranging from Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass to California Governor Newsom, are announcing these law enforcement task forces that are going to capture and prosecute individuals who participate in mass theft events and organized retail crime. But that doesn't really capture or address what is happening with these everyday incidents across the state where small-time thieves are coming in and stealing less than $950 of goods over and over and over again, and many of these are just not being reported at all.
What do Republicans say about this?
I have a quote for you here from State Senator Roger Niello. He said, "In California, criminals easily get away with serial theft because the majority party continues to shield them from punishment, and our communities and businesses are the ones facing the consequences." Niello was the one who introduced the bill that would allow for felony charges for serial thieves, even for theft under $950 if the defendant has served time in jail or prison for 3 prior theft-related convictions. That bill died in committee. State Democrats are unwilling to increase criminal prosecution in most cases.
I'm David Mastio with the Center Square, and we've been talking with Kenneth Schrupp, California reporter for the Center Square. You can read his work at thecentersquare.com. Thank you for listening to California in Focus, and please subscribe to our podcast.
Are you tired of news that puts politics over people? At the nonprofit Franklin News Foundation, we believe in putting people over politics by delivering nonpartisan news and audio content that serves you, the American taxpayer. With Franklin News Foundation, you can read fact-based, state-focused news for free at thecentersquare.com. You can listen to civil, balanced conversations between policy experts through our podcast network at americastalking.com. Or you can get in-depth news on K-12 education spending, curriculum, and school safety at chalkboardnews.com. It's all free through Franklin, where we put you, the American taxpayer, first in every story, episode, and conversation. And it's only possible through our supporters. Together, we can produce content that puts people over politics and brings Americans the news they deserve. Become a supporter today at franklinnews.org/donate. Once again, that's franklinnews.org/donate.